Get ready for the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
It is Sunday night, April 27th. I had to look over at my calendar. Our microphones are hot, which means it's time for another Next Level Showcast here on Next Level Radio. I am your host, as always, Ben Beck, joined by my cohort in crime, Adam Gorey.
Hey.
And a special co-host tonight, joining us, Lauren Annucci.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Good.
Yeah, so she's going to be joining us for pretty much for the entire show tonight, which is
Thanks for coming on, by the way.
Thanks for having me.
Lauren and Adam go back a ways from their time doing radio at
DeSales University.
Yeah, good old DeSales.
Just around the block from where Ben went to college.
Yeah, Moravian. Not too far.
The Greyhounds, which is a lame...
Yeah, that's pretty lame.
Hey, what was yours at DeSales?
We were the Bulldog, yeah.
The Bulldog?
Weren't we like a French Bulldog, though?
I think so.
Yeah, we had the pointy ear. He looked evil.
Short little legs.
Short little legs and pointy ears.
Might have been an English Bulldog, I don't know.
Yeah, one of those.
Why didn't you just make yourselves at DeSales Poodles then?
Still better than a Greyhound.
There's nothing wrong
still
with
better
the
than a
Greyhound.
Greyhound.
Nothing wrong with the Greyhound. Greyhounds are fast.
Right.
I'm pointing at the webcam like I'm really pointing to you. It's ridiculous.
I'm not even looking at the webcam, so...
No. So anyway, we got a packed show tonight. We have 2 interviews that we have to recap that we've done over the past couple weeks, obviously since we were on break last week for Easter. We have quite a few topics we're going to get to. We're going to get to much more. So, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get over how nice it is outside, and we're inside doing the show.
We can do it from outside. I can move my stuff outside if you'd like.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I spent a good majority of the day outside today, and I loved it.
I did not.
No.
Yeah, I don't think I was outside much.
I bought a new barbecue grill, spent outside putting that together.
And you haven't used it yet.
And I think more importantly, I'm still here. I haven't exploded.
That's true. I mean, did you read the instructions for it?
I did. It was one of those things, like, very rarely, like, if I buy, like, a piece of furniture or anything, I usually just put it together without even looking at the instructions. That barbecue grill, because my life could be on the line, I followed those instructions to the T.
Yeah, when you're dealing with flammable stuff.
Yeah.
Well, they tell you to, like, grab a bucket of soap and water. I don't know if your instructions did, Ben. But
it did. It's to check for leaks.
Yeah, you put, you get a bucket of soap and water, and you kind of get a sponge or whatever, and you rub the pipe, and you turn it on, and if it bubbles, then there's, like, little leaks. Yeah. I kind of did that step when we got a grill.
Kind of did that step?
Look, the grill's 2 years old. It hasn't blown up. We're good.
Okay.
I skipped that step.
Yeah.
I did not do that one. But I did light it, and it did light, so I'm pleased that there's no...
That's good.
There's no leaks. Yeah, Andrea just posted in the chat room. We're the ones that decided to make it an hour earlier, so it's our fault. We're stuck inside.
That's true. We did the opposite of daylight savings.
Yeah, and she is absolutely right. However, you will be thanking us when it turns to daylight savings again and it's darker out and you have nothing to do.
But listen to us. You have no other choice but to listen to the show.
I'm sure they'll have other choices, Adam.
There's always other choices.
So. All right, well, let's move on with the show. Let's, what do you say we start off with the box office?
Okay.
All right, so what do you got for us for box office this week?
Surprisingly, opening up at number 1, The Other Woman, with Cameron Diaz, Kate Upton, Leslie Mann. Who's the guy in this movie?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
He's been in a bunch of other stuff. But, I mean, I think he's more of like a B-lister than he is an A-lister.
Yeah, and Ben and I had a couple weeks ago when we talked about this. We said it looks like a John Tucker Must Die, but with adults
Yeah.
instead of like.
It reminds me, and I might be like, I don't know if it's a movie you guys are familiar with, but it makes me think of The First Wives Club.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, you're right. I kind of get the same vibe from this movie.
Except they're girlfriends and not ex-wives.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
Nicki Minaj is in this movie.
Oh, dear
Oh
Lord.
yeah, she is.
I'm not watching it.
I didn't know that. I don't know who the guy is. There's a couple guys listed here. Don Johnson.
He's from Miami Vice.
Yeah, I don't think it's him. It's probably this guy who I don't know how to pronounce his name. Nicolaj Coster,
yeah.
something like that.
I have no idea.
You know who's in this film, Ben? Is
Nicki Minaj.
Taylor Kinney. No, Taylor Kinney. Well, yeah. Taylor Kinney, who's also in Chicago Fire.
Oh, I know who he is. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just referenced Chicago Fire because we'll be recapping our interview with Joe Minoso.
Joe Minoso from Chicago
Same show.
Fire.
A little bit later on.
Which, can I tell you, I'll get into it when we talk about the interview.
That's a good idea.
You're a jackass.
That's why it's called a tease, and you don't do the whole thing.
still learning.
Yeah, the other woman brought in $24.7 million in its first week. Only has a 25% on Rotten Tomatoes, so that's why we always say don't always listen to Rotten Tomatoes. Doesn't mean it's a bad movie. Doesn't mean I want to go see it.
It looks like a bad movie.
Yeah, I agree.
Doesn't mean
and I'm a chick saying that because it looks like your typical chick flick.
Right.
But even I don't really. I'm not going to rush out to see it. I mean, maybe I'll red box it or see it when it goes out on DVD. But it looks pretty bad.
And
Kate Upton might be a swing
well,
factor.
I was just going to say, can I just say that
Yeah.
the only reason Kate Upton is in that movie is so that guys don't feel bad about getting drugged to see that movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's pretty much the only reason she's in that movie.
So number 2 was Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Got kicked out of the number 1 spot in its 4th week. That brought in $16 million. Heaven is for Real is number 3. That's in its 2nd week. We didn't get to really talk about that because we were off last week, but it opened at number 2 last week, dropped to number 3 this week, $13.8 million. Rio 2 in its 3rd week dropped back a spot to number 4, $13.6 million, and opening at number 5, Brick Mansions,
The Paul Walker.
Paul Walker film, yeah, brought in $9.6 million.
I'm actually surprised that didn't open a little bigger because it was Paul Walker's
Yeah.
final movie.
I agree.
Yeah, and it actually, it almost looked like it had a good amount of humor in it, too, when I saw the trailer.
Well, I mean,
Like
it's
humor.
his actual final movie, with the exception of the next Fast and Furious, which he was in the middle of filming. So, I mean, that's technically going to be his final movie because he was in the middle of filming that one.
Right.
Brick Mansions was his final completed movie.
Right, yeah.
So,
Yeah, because with Fast and Furious 7, they have to computer...
Well, no,
Yeah.
they're actually bringing in his brothers.
His brother, yeah.
Oh, really? Didn't we do
His brothers are going to be filling in for him in the movie, and let me tell you, I've seen a picture of him. His one brother is almost a spitting image of him.
Oh, really?
Yes.
But didn't we get a story like a month ago about them also bringing other actors to do the body parts of it, and then they would just put his face on there?
Well, that's a possibility. They'll probably do that for closer up stuff, but I know they're writing him out of the series.
Right.
Rather
well,
than killing him off, they're just writing him out.
Yeah, makes sense.
Which does make sense. I'd rather see it happen that way anyway.
And then just one final one for the box office, honorable mention because it's opening week for it. The Quiet Ones opened at number 7 with $4 million. That was it's a horror film.
Yeah.
No interest on my part.
I'm a horror buff, and I have no interest in seeing that.
Yeah, 39% on Rotten Tomatoes. So
Man,
take that as you will.
man, it is a banner week for Rotten Tomatoes film ratings.
Yeah, I mean, looking at even the box office top 5, the only one
Captain
above
America.
50, yeah, the only one above 50% is Captain America.
What's Captain at? Do you know?
89.
89. Okay. Well, I figured that would be high.
Yeah. So that's it for coming up this week. For this past weekend. Now coming up this week, The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Can't wait.
Yeah, it's not getting really great reviews from
I don't
what
care.
I've been seeing. Didn't say I wasn't going to go see it. I just said it wasn't getting great reviews. Also, Belle, which actually looks pretty good. It's about illegitimate mixed-race daughter of a Royal Navy admiral raised by her aristocratic great uncle M.
And then she
Almost
meets,
said-
and then she meets this huge, hideous beast in a castle, right?
Exactly.
And there's a singing teacup.
Yeah.
Two
And
of them, actually.
and a candlestick
And a candlestick.
and a clock.
Yes. And Gaston's in it.
Yeah.
But actually, it looks pretty good. I watched a trailer for it today. Tom Wilkinson's in
Okay.
it. Love that guy. Tom Felton's in it, which if you like Harry Potter, he's the kid with the blonde hair.
Wow, that narrows it down.
Yeah, really.
Malfoy. That's
Oh,
his name.
okay.
I don't know. Either of you watch those movies. And then also coming out, Walk of Shame with Elizabeth Banks and James Marsden, as I always like to say, Cyclops. That's a comedy, basically. Elizabeth Banks plays a reporter, but decides to have a one-night stand, which leaves her stranded in downtown LA without a phone, a car, ID, or money, and only 8 hours to make it to the most important job interview of her life. Actually, it looks pretty good. It looks relatively fun. It's only an hour and a half long, so I mean, you don't waste a lot of time if it's not good.
That serves her right too, having a one-night stand.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
It's teaching the young girls of today,
Yeah.
you know.
Look, if
and
you're gonna have a one-night stand, be prepared. That's all I'm gonna say.
and that's a good name for the movie too, because I mean,
Walk of shame.
you always hear
Yeah.
like the college stories and stuff.
Right.
I
The
know,
next day.
Yeah, I know that was big up in, I think, somebody was telling me, I think
Moravian?
it was like Kutztown or something like that. You know, they'd always have that. And,
Oh, it's
yeah,
big at Moravian.
Yeah.
I can tell you.
DeSales didn't really have much of that.
No,
but
not really.
There wasn't really many main streets.
Moravian had a huge quad that you had to walk across to get from the pub and the fraternities over to the dorms.
See, that was DeSales didn't have fraternities, so that's
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Moravian did. I actually,
That's
because
not-
I was a fraternity brother at Moravian, so.
And the final movie that I don't really have any interest in seeing, The Protector 2, which I've never seen the first one or even heard of it.
Yeah,
But
me neither.
Mm-mm.
doesn't really strike me as interesting. So I'll read the synopsis real quick. When the owner of a major elephant camp is murdered, Com finds
Lost me
himself.
already.
Yeah, it's
Sorry.
elephant.
Elephant
that's
camp?
what- it's like
It's
a
Jason Statham in the next Operation Dumbo Drop.
yes. He finds himself number one suspect and on the run from both the police and the deceased vengeful twin nieces. But luck is on his side when he runs into an Interpol agent and blah, blah, blah. So that's it. That's all I got.
Oh, all right. All right.
Nothing
Well,
that great except for Spider-Man. I mean,
Yeah.
who wants to open up against Spider-Man, too, to be
yeah,
serious?
that's a good point. Nobody's really going to open at the same time. Although the Batman Superman sequel is opening up at the same day as the next Captain America. which-
That's just
Oh,
cool.
wow.
that's stupid.
That's cool.
That's not cool.
Well, I think, but didn't Batman, Superman have their release? Oh, no, wait. Because they had to get pushed back.
Uh-huh.
And then, but didn't Captain America 3 decide to do theirs after they saw that?
No, Captain America 3 was first.
Oh, was
on
it?
that
Okay.
date. DC is the one that's going up against him. But it's almost the same thing as
They'll probably push it back again anyway.
Dark Knight Returns opened like 2 weeks after Avengers.
I don't know what movie that is.
It's the third Batman movie.
You don't know that movie?
Dark Knight Rises.
Whatever. I'm
I
thinking
knew
Batman
what you meant.
Returns. Thank you,
I
Lauren.
knew what he meant, but I just wanted to bust on him.
He wanted to
for
be a
it.
jackass.
Yeah, exactly.
Seriously, man, you and me, we're fucking done
Yeah.
professional.
Nice. Dark Knight Rises opened about 2 weeks after Avengers
Yeah.
and couldn't do squat compared to Avengers.
No, I don't.
It made a lot of money, but it didn't do.
Yeah.
didn't
Which
do
I
anything.
think, and not to get off topic, but Dark Knight Rises, I think is a great movie. But it gets overshadowed by Dark Knight. I just want to throw that. out there.
Yeah, there's a good reason for that.
Well, yeah, Dark Knight
Dark
is.
Knight was better.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it wasn't better, but if you take if Dark Knight never happened, Dark Knight Rises is a great movie.
No, it's not.
Okay.
No, it was a good movie. It's no Man of Steel.
It's better than Man of
It's
Steel.
better than Man of Steel. Trust me. I'm not going to go off on that tangent because the next thing you
Please
know,
don't.
I'm going to go off to a tangent about Man of Steel, which is going to go into a tangent about Twilight,
Oh God.
Oh,
and then
please
Andrea will be
don't.
mad at me. And
Yeah, somehow Ben always finds a way to bring up Twilight on this
it's
show.
the only reason I said it right then and there, so I can
Secretly
I
loves
can
the
stay
movie.
constant.
Oh
He
no.
has the collector's box set, I'm pretty sure.
Oh God.
What? You're out of your mind. I would rather watch Man of Steel every day for a year
All right,
than
all
watch
right.
Twilight.
We'll get to the new releases
All right,
already.
new release DVD Blu-ray this week. Like I said, it's a banner week for Rotten Tomatoes. Not much this week coming out. First out coming Devil's Due, which is a horror movie starring Zach Gilford and Allison Miller. Made about $15.7 million in the box office. It's an 18% on Rotten Tomatoes.
What was it called?
Ooh.
Devil's Due.
More like Devil's Dope.
Oh
Hey,
my
yo.
God.
Continue.
You are next one coming out for this coming Tuesday is Labor Day, starring Kate Winslet and Josh Brolin. Made even less money than Devil's Due. Made about $13.3 million in the box office. 33% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
But I'm saving the best Rotten Tomatoes rating for last. The Legend of Hercules made about $18.8 million at the box office. Let's just take a wild guess what the Rotten Tomatoes rating is.
You already told me, so I'm not going to say.
Oh,
I'll guess 15.
you're giving it
Divide
a
that
lot of
by
credit.
5.
Yeah, divide that by 5. It is at a 3 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh my God.
Weren't we talked about that when it came out, right? It was at like a less than 1% when it first came
Yeah,
out.
when it first
Wow.
opened out. So it went up to 3.
Yeah, look at that. It
Wow.
multiplied by like 200%.
I guess that's an accomplishment.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we got through the box office, which means we are due for a break. We're going to take a quick music break. When we come back, we're going to talk about. Adam's got a list of most reliable cars, I guess by sales. I don't know what the list is.
I think it's like mechanical.
Okay, because I didn't look at the list purposely because I wanted to try and guess it. We're going to recap one of our interviews when we come back, as well as next level news. If you're in the chat room, we encourage you to chat along with us on our Mixler page. If you're just in the room as a guest, please just register with it. You can sign up right through your Facebook page. It's totally free, and then this way you can chat with us and follow us. Check us out at our website, www.nextlevelradioonline.com. There you can find links to our Facebook page, our Twitter page, our YouTube page, and soon, hopefully this week, our iTunes account.
Yes.
We finally got submitted to iTunes. We're just waiting to hear back from Apple or Crapple. And
Not helping our case.
Yeah, I know. Maybe
Yeah,
I
that's not
shouldn't.
helping at all. I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't say that until we're actually approved.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
but all right, we're gonna take a quick music break, and that. Sorry, I'm trying to get everything set up. I should have had this done already. Yeah. All right, we're gonna take a quick music break. We'll be back in a few minutes. Hang tight.
Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelt of elderberries. Is there someone else up there we can talk to? No, now go away, or I shall taunt you a second time.
All right, we are back on Next Level Showcast on Next Level Radio. Had to get a little cough out there before we turn the mics back up.
Mics are on. You okay now?
Yeah, you're a jack.
Your cat's looking at you.
What? No, my
I said, are
cats-
your cats looking at you?
No, my cats have pretty much learned that when they see me put the headphones on, they lay down. It's weird.
That's good.
Yeah. I don't know what
As long
causes
as
them
they
to do
look.
it, but because if they were up here and they were meowing, it would kind of piss me off. And then
I
I'd
would
have
think
to,
so.
and then I'd have to kick a cat live on the air, and
The SPCA would be all over
Yeah,
that.
that wouldn't be good. Animal cruelty.
yeah, exactly.
We love cats on this show.
I would never
Oh,
kick my
Do you
cats.
really?
No, I hate cats.
Good, so do I.
What?
stand
But I wouldn't hurt them.
Right, I just avoid them.
I just avoid them.
We have one, much to my chagrin.
Oh no, we could never have. My husband would never allow it. No cats in this house.
No.
No.
Well, I make up for all of it because I have 4.
Do you really?
Yes, I do.
Wow.
I have 2 that were adopted and 2 that were kind of acquired.
Oh, okay.
So
In like a
Well,
trade
good for
or
you
what?
for adopting them.
yeah, the
You
two-
like
I
traded
adopted
in
them.
your
I actually
car?
what?
You
I didn't
traded in your car, got a
No,
new car,
no,
and two
no.
cats. came
Yeah.
with it, or what?
No, I had 2 cats that I adopted from Steve Morrison actually.
Did
Oh,
you
Yeah,
really?
I adopted him from Steve and his wife. And for anybody who's listening who doesn't know who Steve is, he's a DJ on a morning show here in locally to Philadelphia. And yeah, him and his wife, I adopted 2 of my cats from them, and the other 2 cats were basically because my 2 cats. I shared my apartment when I moved out of my house. I shared the apartment I live in now. My mom was living in at the time, and there was a 2 or 3 month period where we were both living here at the same time before she moved out, and my cats got used to living with her 2 cats. So it was pretty much one of us was taking all 4 of them.
Oh, okay.
And
You got the short end of the stick
I got
on
the
that
short
one.
end.
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
straw,
right.
No, it's fine. One of them's a major pain in the ass, and the other ones are fine.
Yeah, we have one, and it's a major pain in the ass. So, anyway, moving along from cats, here's a great segue. Cars. The same amount of letters. All that's missing is an R and a T.
Yeah.
So that's the segue. That's what we're going with.
All right, cars.
So there's this article that came out this week. A car dealer's data-driven guide to the 10 most reliable brands. This basically is written by a guy who was a car dealer, an auctioneer, and part owner of an auto auction over the last 15 years. So he's seen a lot of cars. let's just say that. So I want to see, if you can guess. I mean, I'm sure there's a couple you can guess pretty easily, but there's a few on here that I think might surprise you. At least they surprised me, and I want to see if you've had any experiences with any of these cars.
So it's
Let's hear your guesses first.
this is for what is this list again? Most
Top
reliable.
10, yeah, top 10 most reliable.
Most reliable. Okay.
Yeah, Lauren, you go first.
So are we defining it by like a certain car or certain brand?
It's the make, not the model.
Okay. All right. So most reliable, I would have to say Ford is somewhere on that list.
Oh my God, I would completely disagree.
Yeah, I would
Really?
disagree too. And
Really?
I used
list
to work for
is not on
Ford.
here.
I used to
It's
work,
not on there. Oh God.
No.
I used to work for Ford and in the service department, and I grew to hate Ford because of working in the service department.
If it's not a truck,
Yeah.
Or a
it's
Mustang.
usually not.
So I'm trying to think about you have to think about those people that love American-made, bleed red, white, and blue, won't buy anything that's made overseas. So, I that's why I picked Ford. And I would still think it was most reliable because I feel like a lot of people would buy Ford.
Yeah, but just because
Yeah.
a lot of people buy Ford doesn't mean it's the most
I
reliable.
know,
Yeah.
but
They have to keep buying new ones.
right, but they weren't they one of the only companies that weren't, they didn't have to take the buyout or whatever that was a couple years ago, and they did the whole deal with the government, and you had the cash for clunkers deal.
Yeah, I don't think they had to get bailed out. I think that was
Yeah.
mostly GM that had that
Yeah.
problem.
All right, so I'm
GM
wrong.
kind of had a
So-
lot of. GM had their hand in too many pots. I mean, they were making Saturns, they were making
Well, yeah.
Oldsmobile, Pontiac. I mean, they're just spread too thin. Okay, Ben, your turn to guess.
My guess, just because this is another dealership that I worked at when I was younger, and I grew to love these cars, BMW.
Oh please,
What?
Not on the list.
All right.
no way,
Not on there. Nope.
no way.
What
There's
was,
two really obvious ones.
what
that
was
you
that?
guys
What was
are-
that? Oh, please for.
Because you guys are giving me a hard time about picking Ford, BMW, really?
BMW
come
are
on.
reliable cars.
I disagree with
Not
you.
according to this list.
All right, I think
All right.
I think I know what's in the top 3, but Lauren, you're next. Yeah, you
All
can
right,
take
so I'm
this.
next.
Yeah.
I
There's
would
two really obvious ones.
say two really obvious ones.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Damn it, Andrea just took my guess on the chat room. That was my guess.
All right, I'll say Hyundai.
Hyundai? No.
Yeah. Oh my-
No. You guys are terrible at this.
Andrea
And
took my
Subaru's not on there, so don't guess
Really?
it. Yeah.
That was my other guess. Damn it.
What car brands do they always say last
Chevy.
like forever?
Chevrolet.
Chevrolet is on here. Not one of the ones I was thinking of.
Alright.
It's number 5.
Nissan.
No.
Damn
It'll
it!
last forever.
guys
Wouldn't
really-
it wouldn't be Subaru?
No. You guys really not thinking of these two brands that always battle it out with each other. One of them's number 1.
Lexus.
No. Well, that's number 2.
Okay.
Acura.
Who? Acura is number 7.
All right,
Not
I'm
also
guessing
not who
wrong.
I was thinking of though. I can't believe you guys.
Is it okay? Is it American?
No.
Okay, good.
No. When you think reliable, no offense to the rest of America, but do you really think American?
I
when
haven't
it comes
thought
to
American
cars?
has made good. I don't think American has made a good quality car since the 70s.
Yeah, I mean,
Sorry.
when
Unless,
you look,
like you said, it's a truck.
right. So you still, I'm waiting till you guys guess number 1.
Andrea
until I
guessed
give you the
Honda.
list. Honda is number 3. That was one of the brands or Honda's number 4. Sorry, that was one of the brands I was thinking of. Which I'm actually surprised Honda's not a little higher.
Toyota.
That's number 1. There you go.
And I can't
Really?
even take credit for that because somebody in the chat room guessed it.
Oh yeah, it's my dad actually.
Oh, okay.
Listening, wow. Yeah, Toyota's number 1, Honda's number 4.
So
Lexus is number
Lexus
2,
is
like I
number
said.
2. So-
GMC's number 3.
What?
Really?
Yeah, which I am shocked. It's basically GMC for the most part is just a higher branded Chevy. You know what I
Didn't they
mean?
make
It's just
DeLoreans?
a premium Chevy.
Oh, that was DMC.
DeLorean? No, yeah. So yeah, you got Chevy and GMC, so 2 GMs in the top 5, which I'm a little surprised of, especially given all their struggles, like Lauren had mentioned. Acura is number 7, like you guys guessed, which is basically a premium Honda. Toyota, I think they make Toyota makes Lexus, right?
No, that's Nissan.
No, Nissan makes Infinity.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so
Then
I think
you're right. Yeah.
yeah, so we got Toyota and Lexus are 1 and 2, and they're basically made by the same company.
And Ford makes Land Rover, so we know that won't be on the list.
No, yeah. I'll just run down the top 10 real quick. And I mean, when you think about it, there's not a ton of car brands.
There's
to
more
even
than
go
you
by.
think. There's more than you
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel like a lot, but there's probably, I would say,
Wait, what
20
about
or 30.
what about Daewoo? Is that on there?
Daewoo.
Datsun. Mitsubishi's 10. Hummer is 9.
What? How'd you
Yeah,
get this
They're
list?
tanks.
Yeah. They're reliable because you can run into shit and
Yeah.
nothing happens. Mercedes-Benz is 8. Acura 7 we mentioned. Infinity is 6, and then we already mentioned the top 5. So a lot of premium cars on here. So
So
I guess
Mercedes made the list, but BMW didn't.
yeah, Mitsubishi made the list over BMW according to this guy.
Was
So
Nissan on the list or no?
save your money. No.
That's bull, because my car is extremely reliable.
How many miles are on it?
75,000.
That's pretty good.
Even
I have,
even though I just replaced the brakes all around yesterday, cost me about
Clear.
$450.
Well, let me tell you a story about a Honda Accord I had. I had a 97 Accord, and this will live up to the fact that it's reliable. Okay, so I'm driving it home. This was in 2007, I think. I'm driving it home. I was still in college, driving it home for like Labor Day weekend, and it's by my house at the time. There, back roads that were windy, so I'm going like 35, and around this blind corner comes a Kia something or other, some kind of Kia car. And she takes the turn too wide. It ends up in my lane, and our her front left hits my front left. My airbags pop. Hers don't. Hers didn't pop. Mine did, though. This was a 97 Honda Accord. So, obviously, the car was totaled. Her car was totaled. Both cars were totaled. But I was able, with the airbags off, the window washer fluid tank was, like, hanging in the headlight area. I was able to drive it it was only like a mile from my house, so I drove it home. Her car, it was a Kia, wouldn't even start up. So I had to get a tow truck for it. So that lives up to the Honda reliability.
Well, I mean, I kind of had a similar story. Happened to me about 2 years ago. I was driving a Buick, though. So I was driving my Buick.
That thing's probably like a tank.
I was driving my Buick SUV, and it was right around the northeast extension of the PA Turnpike, and where they have the speed Easy Pass lanes. And I was in the right-hand lane of the 2 Easy Pass lanes, getting from the Pennsylvania Turnpike onto the northeast extension, going down towards the Philly area. There was a girl in the left-hand lane all the way over, who apparently decided at the last minute she did not want to be in the Easy Pass lanes, and cut across 2 lanes, but apparently didn't see me. and it was right before that concrete barrier started. And she cut right in front of me. I plowed into the back of her because she didn't see me. And I pushed her in front of the concrete barrier into the concrete barrier.
Ooh.
And my car was still drivable. Her car was not.
What kind of car did she have?
I don't know. Some probably rinky-dink Toyota.
Probably a BMW.
No, it was not a BMW. But it's one of those moments where I'm actually proud to say I put somebody into a wall. Especially because she tried to...
NASCAR driver?
Well, especially... No, we lost Lauren.
Oh, we did lose Lauren.
Yeah. But it was especially because, like, she tried to fight me on it. Like, saying it was my fault.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's stupid. Well, this woman who had come into my lane, you know, we got into the accident. We both get out of our cars or whatever, and she like calls somebody on her phone, and the first thing I hear her say when she calls this person, I got into another accident.
Another accident.
That's the first thing I want to hear.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I do know, Andrea had actually just mentioned in the chat room, but I do know at one point she was sitting at a light. She had a Chevy, or a Pontiac Grand Dam, I think it was, and she had a Hummer just back up, basically right over top of her car.
That sucks.
Yeah, but the Hummer probably drove away. It's reliable, you know?
Yeah.
On this list.
Hey,
Lauren, are you back?
Welcome
Yeah,
back,
I
Lauren.
missed this whole story. We went from a Kia and a Honda, and now we're at a Hummer. So
That's
I
okay.
missed the whole
That's okay.
story.
Not a problem.
I'm good now.
Yeah, Ben just killed a lady, that's all.
Oh, okay.
I
didn't really miss anything.
no. I only put her in critical condition. She survived.
Oh, only.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't harm her. She was fine.
That's actual audio from the accident.
So I was carrying explosives at the time of the accident.
You know, what you do with your own business is not my business. So.
But I mean, like I said before too, like the woman tried to fight me on it, saying that it was my fault because I rear-ended her. I was like, no, you cut in front of me. There was nothing I could do about it. And when I found out from the insurance company that she tried to fight me on it, I told the insurance company, I said, it happened at a toll booth. There's video.
Yeah,
I was
for
like,
sure.
just contact the Turnpike Authority and get video, and they did, and I won. And I wasn't proud to say I put somebody into a wall until I found out she was fighting me on it.
Yeah, I can see that. I would agree.
After I found out she was fighting me on it, I'm like, you dumb bitch. Like, I'm glad I put you in the wall now.
I am gonna ruin you.
Yeah.
She's actually homeless now, thanks to Ben.
Wow, good job, Ben.
I'm sorry.
He's very proud of it.
Look.
She lives on Ben's stoop.
Look. No, she doesn't.
That you know of.
It's true.
She comes around when you go to sleep.
She's using my brand new grill right now. I don't even know.
I'm gonna get my revenge on you. Yeah, she's cooking steaks.
She's cooking cat.
Yeah.
Oh.
Come on. The SPCA is already on our ass for this joke. You kick cats.
I don't kick cats. You're gonna make people think I'm horrible.
You are horrible. All right. Well, so yeah, that's some of the most reliable car brands. I'm not sure. I'm actually very surprised GMC is that high on the list. But,
So am I.
yeah, but I guess you get what you pay for in some of those are
GMC is
premium
American
cars.
made too, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, you also have to figure too. A majority of GMC is truck.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Truck and SUV.
So I mean, trucks.
Actually, I think all of
pretty
GMC
reliable.
is truck and SUV.
Yeah,
I don't think they make cars.
I don't think they do.
Yeah. So. All right. Well, do you want to move on to our Joe Minoso interview?
No.
Our recap of that.
No.
All right. Let's just skip right ahead to the end of the show.
No. All right, fine. All right, fine. We'll talk about it, Joe Mendoza. No, definitely. Let's talk about that.
Okay. Well, when was that? It was before our Easter break. So I mean, it was I think April 15th.
Well, we had 2 interviews in 1 week.
Yeah. And then
it was supposed to be 3, but unfortunately, Brian Miller had a family incident and had to postpone his show. So we're going to get him back on.
Yeah, I think in the fall.
Yeah, I think in the fall when he comes back. I think he said September.
Yeah, I think he said he's coming back September and January. So
we're going to be able to get him back, and we were really looking forward to that interview.
I know.
Because it was going to be he's a magician comedian, and it was going to be in person on video. He was going to do magic with us because you and I are both huge fans of like magicians and magic, and he was going to do like some one-on-one.
I'm a fan of magicians, but not magic.
Oh. Well, it's good because magicians don't use real magic, so it works
Spoiler alert.
But yeah, he was going to do like tricks with us on the video and everything as far as along with the interview. So we were really looking forward to that. Kind of bummed when he had to postpone. But I mean, it was understandable. He had some kind of a family incident come up. So
I am not going to hold it against him.
no, not at all. We actually wish him the best, and we're looking forward to when he comes back.
Exactly.
So, but as you said, we had the opportunity to interview Joe Minoso.
Minoso, yeah, is actually technically correct, but the Americanized version that has since come, it's Minoso.
And he is from the television show Chicago Fire on NBC.
Yes, Tuesday nights at 10 o'clock, I believe, 10, 9 Central.
Yeah, and this was a cool interview for me, too, because like, having been a former fireman, there was a lot of insight as to, how the show works and everything. And I actually had, like, a pretty cool moment during that interview, too, that kind of took me by surprise to the point where I kind of stumbled on my words a little bit. Because I really didn't know how to react to it.
Yeah, when he thanked you.
Because it came up in the interview that I used to be a fireman, and like he stopped mid-conversation and started thanking me for what I had done. I wasn't expecting it, and it kind of took me by surprise, and I kind of like stuttered over my words a little bit, trying to get back to the interview.
Yeah, it's a shame he didn't know that the fires you fought were ones that you started cooking cats.
But we weren't going to talk about that.
Cooking all those cats.
Because, I did my time.
Cooking all those cats.
Yeah, because, I did my time, so.
But yeah, I mean, cool guy, definitely, obviously has a huge appreciation for, emergency responders, which is really cool to see.
Yeah.
And they spend a lot of time with actual firefighters. I mean, he was saying during the interview, I don't remember if it's in the clip or not. I don't think it is, because I do have a clip. But he was saying even in the interview, like if it's not one of the main cast, it's a real firefighter, a real Chicago firefighter, which is awesome.
Yeah, and he said that they're constantly on set.
Yeah, and the driver of the truck, which makes sense because then one of the actors would have to get a CDL license.
Yeah.
Or actually, I don't know that you do because of emergency vehicles. I forget how that works. I don't know if it depends on the state.
I never drove the truck, so I'm not too familiar with that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But very cool show. The clip I have here is just basically him talking about, Ben had asked him if he liked because the show is a drama, it's a drama about firefighting, but there's also a lot of comedy in the show and a lot of humor to it. So this is Ben had asked him which one he enjoys better, the drama or the comedy.
I love doing the comedic stuff, especially because of what the result on set is when you get to do stuff like that. I actually just recently, a scene between all of the guys, pretty much, all of the boys from the truck and squad, were sitting in the kitchen, and we were all helping Mouch out with giving him tips on dating. And so we decided to end up, doing like a mock date, and I ended up playing the girl in the mock date.
Yeah, that was good. I just watched that, actually.
Okay, yeah, and then all of the guys were kind of helping, him and giving him tips and stuff. And that was really, as far as I'm concerned, and I can actually say that a couple of the guys share in this, definitely Christian Sophie, who plays Mouch. It is by far my favorite scene that we've done in our 2 years. For a lot of reasons, it was hilarious, but I think it got to show people off in a really good way, and I think what I get to see of the firefighters, as much as I would love to try and go on more ride-alongs and actually see them in the thick of it, what I get to see is a bunch of guys busting each other's balls and being brothers and having a good time.
Yeah.
And so anytime that we get to do that on screen, I feel that we're being as authentic and genuine as we can, because it's what I'm most used to seeing the firefighters do.
And he's absolutely correct. I mean, because I'm sure you know, Ben, just from being a firefighter, but I was even an emergency dispatcher for a couple years. And because around here a lot of the firefighters are volunteer, it's part-time, a lot of them were dispatchers as their full-time job, and they would constantly just joke around with each other. And it really is like a brotherhood.
It's exactly like a brotherhood. I mean, it's like you said, that's one of the one of the favorite pastimes of what firefighters did on their downtime was just bust each other's stones.
Yeah, and I think it's like that all around with pretty much all the emergency responders and people involved, because you have to be able to have that, humor side to it because of the other side of it.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll burn out if you don't have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
But like you said, very cool interview. Make sure you check it out. You can check out the full interview online, nextlevelradioonline.com, and then just go to the interviews tab. And
it'll be up on iTunes soon too. Once we get that taken care of.
And if you want to follow Joe on Twitter, definitely check him out. It's at Damino Show, DAMINO Show.
Which I think is a pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's a pretty cool Twitter handle. We've gotten really lucky in the interviews that we've gotten so far. Everybody has been great. We haven't run into any trouble.
Yeah, no curmudgeons.
No, everybody's been very engaging. We've been told that we'll have like 10, 15 minutes with the people, and it just seems that when we get to the end of that time, they just want to keep talking.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know if it's us or if it's just the people that we talk to or a combination of everything, but we've just been extremely lucky. So.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if it's like they really are having a fun time talking to us, or it's like stripper syndrome where, you just think that...
Oh, my God. I don't think I've ever been...
I've never heard that.
Neither have I, but oh, God, you cracked me up. Seriously,
that's
Adam.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you. You go.
Yeah.
We do have another interview coming up tomorrow that's pretty much all but confirmed, but we'll tell you about that a little bit later in the show.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have like that one. We have another one that we're going to mention. We have a bunch that we've reached out to that we're hoping to land.
Yeah, a couple that we're just kind of waiting on scheduling. A lot of really, there was a couple I was in contact with this week about possibly getting together. So.
A couple, as in like a man and woman, like husband
yes,
and wife?
Exactly.
Gotcha. Wonder who that could be. George Clooney and his new fiance.
Obamas.
The Obamas.
Yeah, George Clooney got engaged. That's not on our next level news, but.
Well, that's why I brought it up. That's why I just kind of stuck it in there. That transition.
Yeah, speaking of which, I guess you want to get into that?
What's that?
The next level news.
Sure, why not?
Okay.
This is Next Level News.
I'll start things out here. James Franco, according to James Franco, Kanye West wanted him and Seth Rogen to perform Bound 2 spoof at the Kim Kardashian wedding. I don't know if either of you have seen the video of Seth Rogen and James Franco spoofing the Kanye West video with Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, I did see that.
It's absolutely fantastic. But yeah, apparently, I think he was on The View, because I guess he is in Of Mice and Men. I don't know if that's a play or a movie. Ben, do you know?
I don't know. Of Mice and Men is a play.
Well, yeah, but with James Franco in it?
Yes, it's on stage. He does a lot of stage work.
Okay, that's cool. So yeah, I guess they were talking about it, and him and Seth Rogen initially weren't even sure, if Kanye liked it. I guess they heard that Kim had liked it. They didn't hear anything about Kanye, so they figured he hated it. But apparently,
like he hates everything else.
Yeah, exactly. Apparently, though, he called them. According to James Franco, he said, "We got a call from Kanye. Seth and I were on the phone. We thought he was just going to let us have it, but he loved it, and I'm pretty sure I can say it now because I'm pretty sure it's not going to happen. He wanted us to perform it live the night before his wedding at Versailles. So he actually wanted them to do it live at their wedding.
That would have been awesome.
I know, but I can see, I guess, why they wouldn't.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
So. But I mean, it's James Franco. Why wouldn't you want James Franco at your wedding?
Exactly.
So I mean, he's not chewing his arm off,
no,
or cutting his arm off with a knife.
He didn't chew his arm off.
He cut it off with a knife. I know.
It's not a rat bit.
It's not a Coyote Ugly situation.
Yeah. Oh boy.
All right, moving on to a story from my end. The final Hobbit movie gets a new name. Peter Jackson, director of the Hobbit movie franchise, announced on his Facebook page Thursday morning that the third and final Hobbit movie has a new name. It was originally titled The Hobbit There and Back Again, but the new title will be The Battle of the Five Armies.
It's not going to be The Hobbit at all?
Well, no, it's called The Hobbit, the Battle of the Five Armies.
I didn't know if they were dropping the Hobbit part.
Yeah. So, and they actually had it rumored that it was going to be The Hobbit Into the Fire, which was a name that New Line Cinema had registered, but it turns out that wasn't it all. So the franchise is going to be changing the name for the third and final movie, which I believe comes out this Christmas.
I think so, yeah.
I think they were releasing
Sure.
all three like in
In
3 years in
yeah.
a row. So yeah.
Yeah. Moving on, HBO is coming to Amazon Prime. Apparently, a new licensing deal will bring HBO movies and comedy specials, and in addition to series, to Amazon's $99 per year Prime subscription service. The first shows are actually going to be coming out in May. I think May 21st. So that's actually pretty cool. If you don't have HBO Go, because HBO Go, you get it with HBO, which is $20 a month. Whereas if you have Prime already, if you got in before the $99 increase, but even if, you're paying $99 a year, it's cheaper than having HBO. I don't think it's going to be brand new content like HBO Go offers.
No, but and the only downside to it is going to be too, like for examples like Game of Thrones, which airs on Sunday night, is you can literally start Game of Thrones on HBO Go about a minute after it starts airing on HBO.
Yeah.
And I don't think you're going to be able to do that on Prime.
No. You want me to actually, let's see, Prime members will have unlimited streaming access to shows that include all seasons of The Sopranos, The Wire, Deadwood, Rome, and 6 Feet Under, as well as Eastbound and Down, Enlightened, and Flight of the Conchords. Miniseries like Angels in America, Band of Brothers, John Adams, The Pacific, and Parade's End. Select seasons of current series like Boardwalk Empire, True Blood, and was it Trem?
Trem, yeah.
Trem, okay. Original movies like Game Change, Too Big to Fail, and You Don't Know Jack, and documentaries and comedy specials. So I don't even see anything saying. It looks like earlier seasons of Girls, Newsroom, and Veep will roll out over the course of the multi-year agreement. Approximately 3 years after airing on HBO. So you're going to have to wait a while for newer content.
Yeah, see, I'd rather stick with HBO. HBO
Yeah,
Go.
me too.
Yeah.
Because you get, like I said, you not only get everything right after it airs, but like Game of Thrones, you get it a minute after it starts.
Right. And all that old stuff is still on HBO Go, like Sopranos and all
everything that you mentioned is on HBO Go.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
Every season of Sopranos, Trem, including the shows like Newsroom and everything else that you have to wait to get on Amazon Prime.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like all the past seasons of Boardwalk Empire, all the current shows, True Blood, they're all on there.
That's
so
cool.
I would rather stick with HBO Go. But that's just me.
But, I mean, I guess they're just trying to combat Netflix, basically.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
So,
I think you had another one, right?
Yes, I do. In the world of television, Meg Ryan to lend voice to How I Met Your Dad. She is basically going to be the Bob Saget of the spinoff to How I Met Your Dad.
There's a spinoff?
You didn't know
hear
about this?
No.
Yeah, it's told from the mother's point of view.
Come on.
But it's not gonna be the mother from How I Met Your Mother.
No,
right?
I think it is.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if they were spinning it off as in like maybe the mom of Barney's kid or something like that.
No, it's the mother of the kids. So pretty much the show should be called How I Met Your Dad and Then Died.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
When is she telling this story while she's in the hospital?
Because her story's not going to last as long as the dad's, as long as Tad's.
It should just be called How I Met Your
Yeah. Exactly. So, yeah.
Oh, that's going to be awful.
So,
yeah. I don't know how I feel about it.
And your wife is continuously on this thing, too. And she criticizes me for talking about Twilight all the time. How she says she's not even cute. Yes, she is.
Yeah, she doesn't think the mother is cute.
She's a cute
the
girl.
Mother and How I Met Your Mother?
Yes.
The girl who they finally revealed? That girl?
Yes.
Yeah. Who was also in Wolf of Wall Street.
Yes, she was.
She's all right. She's not
hot, but
no.
she's all right.
I think she's okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you asked, probably.
Speaking of How I Met Your Mother real quick, too, there actually is going to be an alternate ending on the DVD.
Yeah, I did hear about that, which you have to wait for September, I think, to come out.
Yeah, but I don't care because the ending was horrible.
Yeah, it was.
There was a fan ending that Ben had posted a while ago.
Which was great.
Yeah.
Which was how it should, and all it was scenes from the finale recut into a different way, and it made the show end so much better.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, well I just have one more quick one, and then we can move on since it's already an hour into the show. Netflix is raising prices for new subscribers. If you haven't heard, thank God it's for new subscribers, but I have a feeling that it's going to trickle down to current subscribers.
It's going to, but it's going to be a couple years.
Okay.
We're safe for a couple years.
It'll be a $1 to $2 per month increase depending on the country.
Which, you know what? It's only It's only $7.99 now. It's $8 a month. If it's $2 more to make it an even 10, so what?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal.
I mean, you can still even if Hulu upped theirs to $9.99 a month, you can still have both like I do for $20. I mean, it's that.
Yeah, and the bigger deal I think was when they split up disc and streaming.
And instant streaming, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't miss the disc.
I don't either.
I really don't. Yeah.
That should be a campaign slogan.
Miss the disc.
I don't miss the disc.
Yeah. I will say though that there are some stuff that I really want to watch and it's not on streaming, but I could get the disc for it. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but there are some shows that I look like, I wonder if that's on Netflix, and it's not, and I want to watch it, but
but half the time the shows that you're looking for that are like that, you can probably find them on Hulu.
True. And I mean, you could always find the black market of
Yeah, you could just illegally
streaming.
download those.
The good old torrent.
Which we don't endorse.
No, I
Oh
don't
no.
endorse that.
No.
This show.
I don't ever do that. And I don't recommend anybody do that at all.
Well, that's it for Next Level News.
So, all right, let's take another break, and then when we come back, we'll recap our second interview. We're going to talk about something that I think is kind of BS, but
blame it on the Palcohol.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. So, all right, don't forget, check out our website, www.nextlevelradioonline.com. Follow us on Twitter at NXTLevelRadio. Find us on Facebook, which you can find the link on our website, which the address I just gave you. Got a couple announcements coming up in the second half of the show, and that's about it. So we're going to take another music break, as I said, and we'll be back in a few minutes. Hang tight.
Kelly Clarkson! 911 emergency! My car's been stolen! I am in pursuit, right? I need all units, the whole squadron, bring everyone! No, don't ask me questions, all right? My father's the head of the neighborhood watch.
And we're back. I don't know if you could hear. I don't know if you heard that clip that I played when coming back. It was Sam Witwicky from Transformers when he calls 911 and realizes it's his car stole itself.
That's the first one, right?
Yes.
A good one.
Yeah, probably the best one out of all three.
Oh, definitely.
So, even though I was in the second one, so
kind of.
You were in the second one?
I was in two scenes of the second one.
Oh, really?
In the first scene, you can see my shirt, and in the second scene, you can see one of my shoes.
Is it credited?
I don't know. I've never checked.
Left foot.
Probably not.
Back.
How did you get in that?
Through
They filmed some of it in Philly, didn't they?
They filmed a lot of it in Philly. That's how I got into it.
That's the scenes in China were actually Philadelphia.
No.
Oh, really?
Nope.
I thought that's what it was.
The opening scene at the warehouse in China was at the Bethlehem Steelworks.
Oh, Bethlehem, that's right. That's
before
what it was.
they built the sands.
Right.
They were getting ready to build the sand, so they gave Michael Bay the steelworks to blow it up, which was kind of cool.
There you go.
The exteriors of the college were filmed at Rutgers University. The interiors of the college and the fraternity, which is the fraternity scene that I'm in, the fraternity party, that was filmed at University of Penn. And the scene where his parents are eating snails in Paris was filmed outside of Independence Hall.
Oh, wow.
And that was the other scene I was in.
We're in Ben's apartment.
There were no sex scenes in that movie because Megan Fox is a bitch.
Toe thumbs.
I met her.
Ew.
I met her and Shia because I was also on set when they did the scene that took place at Eastern State Penitentiary. But they were the only ones in the scene, so I got to meet them after they were in between a shoot. And Shia was cool. The other guy that was in the scene with him that was really cool, and Megan Fox was a bitch.
I'm surprised Shai's not a douche. Kind of seems.
He is now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Now he's like he went all Joaquin Phoenix on us.
Wears paper bags on his head.
Yeah. Weirdo.
I am not an actor.
Yes, you are. What do you get paid for?
So speaking of
I
actor,
don't have to watch your shitty movies.
he's made some decent movies, with the exception of Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull.
I was gonna say, like, what's one of them?
Battle of Shaker Heights was pretty good. That was one of his first.
I never saw that one.
That was a Project Greenlight movie.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. But yeah, speaking of actors and actresses, which Shia LaBeouf is an actress. On 2 days after the Joe Minoso interview, I got the pleasure of speaking with Carolina Guerra from Da Vinci's Demons. That was April 17th on a Thursday. Also didn't get to talk about it last week because of we were on break. Ben unfortunately couldn't make it out. He had a last-minute meeting that he had to attend.
So you got to go solo on this one.
Yes, like Jason Derulo, I was riding solo.
Oh my God.
She was great to talk to. I mean, she was awesome, for sure. And I don't know if anyone's gotten a chance to watch the episode she was in. She's going to be in pretty much all of them now, moving forward, she told me. But episode 5, I think, was right after our interview.
Yeah, that was the next episode.
That was her debut episode, and she did a great job. She plays an Inca princess, Ima. But the show is actually pretty cool. I got a chance to check out a few episodes, and definitely check it out, especially if you have Stars. It's on Saturdays at like 9. I think it's on at like 9, 10, and 11, so you're not going to miss it. But this clip I have, she was a model in Colombia and an actress in Colombia, and then she decided to, try her luck over here in America. She's done, I think, a horror film, Ben, actually. You might be interested in checking it out.
Was it an American horror film or Spanish?
Yeah. No, yeah, American. I think it filmed in Colombia, though.
Okay.
And I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's, I think, Hill something. Not The Hill Has Eyes. Gallows Hill.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it came out last year. I'm trying to remember who she said was in it. Peter Facinelli.
From...
Who is in Ben's favorite movie of all time.
What?
Twilight.
Oh, you would. I had a feeling that's where you were going with that, and...
Yeah, he's Dr. He's the father, Dr. Cullen.
I have no idea.
You would know him, Ben, as Mike... what the hell?
Wazowski?
No.
Oh, that was Billy Crystal.
Yeah, that was Billy Crystal. He was in... why can't I think of the name of the movie? I'll think of it. Let me play this clip, and I'll think of it.
All right.
This clip is about her. What I was getting at is that, she's very popular and well known in Colombia. And I asked her, what it was like to leave somewhere where she's so well known and try out something new, as she did coming to America.
I think it takes, it's not easy, but it is also not easy to not do what you want.
Mm-hmm.
I think that second part is harder than to take a risk. And I just think, I'm young. I don't have any kids. I don't have any, attached, serious attachments to anywhere. So I'm just, doing what my God tells me and what makes me happy. And I really, really want to go around the world, and I want to travel, and I want to work, and I want to, whenever you're out of your comfort zone, that's where the magic happens.
Oh,
and
yeah,
that's
definitely.
what's been happening to me. And, yeah. So I think, whenever you're brave, life is very nice for you. Well, I'm just doing what I like, and if it's back in Colombia, then I'll go back to Colombia. But if it's here, it's here. And this is where, where I am right now. And I'm just, trying to be responsible with the opportunities that life is giving me, and just, working hard and being passionate about it.
So yeah, I think she has a bright future for sure. And by the way, it was Can't Hardly Wait is what I was thinking of, and he played Mike Dexter.
I can't believe Mike Dexter is now playing a father in a movie.
Yeah, I know, right? Several movies.
Yeah.
But he's also actually in. He's been in some episodes of Glee, which I haven't seen.
He has.
But he was in. Yeah, Rupert Campion.
Later on in Glee.
Last year into this year.
Oh yeah, see, I stopped watching at that point, so it's yeah.
And he's also in Nurse Jackie, which is a show I haven't seen yet, but I think we're actually working on trying to get somebody from that show on the show. So, but if you want to follow Carolina on Twitter, it's at Carolina Guerra M. And then Da Vinci Stars, like I said, is on Stars, or Da Vinci Stars. That's their. I was reading their Twitter handle.
Their Twitter.
It's on Stars. Yeah, their Twitter handle. It's on Stars every Saturday.
Gotcha.
But yeah, Ben, I think you should check out Gallows Hill.
I might check that out. Like, I'm a horror buff, and it's. I don't know, man. After Afflicted, my level set pretty high now when it comes to those independent horror movies.
Yeah, I think it was filmed in Colombia, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember.
Because I'm telling you, man, that when we interviewed those two, after watching that movie is still very high on my list.
That is a great movie. I think I will buy the DVD when it comes out.
I will for sure buy that DVD when it comes out. That was Derek Lee and Cliff Prowse.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, you can check out the Carolina Guerra interview along with the Cliff Prowse and Derek Lee interview.
And Joe Minoso.
On our website. And Joe Minoso and all our other ones at nextlevelradioonline.com/interviews, or you can just click the interviews tab while you're exploring the rest of our website.
Yeah.
So anyway,
a couple weeks hold on, real quick too, before we go into that, while we're on the same note as interviews, we might have our first two-time interview coming up at some point. That with Craig Shoemaker. We might be getting Craig Shoemaker on again in July.
That would be cool.
So I've been in touch with actually Craig's been in touch with me when we set up the interview the first time. I was talking to his assistant, but since then I've actually been in touch with Craig personally. We've been going back and forth, and he's going to be coming back to town. If you didn't see the interview, which I highly recommend because it was our first. Oh no, Chris Allen was our first in-person interview. Craig Shoemaker was our next one. But it was an in-person interview that I got to sit down with Craig, and he had mentioned how he started his comedy tour, his comedy touring career in Philadelphia, and he kind of wants to round it out and end it in Philadelphia. So he's in the middle of his final tour right now, but he wants to add another date to the tour just so he can finish in Philadelphia, because he's from Philadelphia too. So, but when he comes back in July, we've been talking, we might be able to do something with him again when he comes back in July.
Yeah, and he's bringing a piece of Philadelphia with him out west.
Yeah, he's taking Tony Luke's out to L.A., which is kind of cool.
Yeah, so. But yeah, anyway, a couple weeks ago, this article came out about something called Palcohol, which is basically powdered alcohol being passed by, I think it was the FDA or something like that. Well, this past week, an article came out saying that the approval was actually an accident. The Alcohol and Tobacco Tax and Trade Bureau had apparently accidentally approved it. It was an error, so it may be coming. It may not be coming. According to the website, multiple varieties of Palcohol received label approval on April 8th. Palcohol said in an email around 5 p.m. Earlier this week that it agreed to surrender the approvals a few hours prior to the email.
I still don't know if I buy into this.
Yeah,
I really don't.
I mean, basically what it is, it's just alcohol that you add. What do you add? Like, do you just heat it up?
You add water.
You add water.
That's it.
That's it, yeah.
You add water to it. The alcohol and the chaser or the mix is what's powdered, which I don't buy into, because I've heard discussions about how difficult it is to turn alcohol into a powder.
Yeah, it's got to be tough to synthesize.
Exactly. You need a catalyst to do it, and you need a strong catalyst to do it. And not only that, but the catalyst that you use, I don't believe is safe for consumption. So I don't see how this is even possible that you can powder alcohol.
I don't know why you'd want to. I mean, I guess it's a little more convenient to carry around.
It's so you can sneak it into ball games and concerts.
Yeah, that's what it's...
I could do that anyway, though.
It's just
gonna, it's like a flask.
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to become another way for people to get alcohol into concerts illegally. It's going to become another way for underage people to drink at concerts and not get caught.
Yeah.
It's just... Sorry, there's a motorcycle driving by outside. I don't know if you heard it or not.
Exactly.
But it's just another way for people to get into trouble.
Yeah, I mean, we actually over, and Ben, you might have been to it, but they have something in Bethlehem every year around Christmas. I think it's called Chris Kindle Mart or something like that. They had like it was like almost like I'm trying to think of how to describe it. It was like a slushy thing, but it came in this pack. But you had to add the alcohol to it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So like that stuff is cool because I mean I wouldn't drink it because it's
I mean it's like a margarita mix. I mean
the margarita tubs that they sell.
Yeah.
You freeze it and then you throw in the alcohol and yeah,
and you throw in like rum or whatever certain
tequila,
type of
yeah.
And it's just easier, you know what I mean? It's easier to make than adding all the ice and this, that, and the other thing. But like, the powdered alcohol, I don't know if I buy that. I agree with Ben. I don't know.
Oh, I mean, and not only that too, but the other issue that's coming up with a lot of it is you've already have people talking about doing this even before the powdered alcohol is out, which means
snorting it, right?
Yeah, which means for a fact people are going to try it. It's snorting it.
And that reminds me of another topic that we might be talking about after the break.
We'll talk about that a little bit later.
Stupid things that kids do, and I could definitely 100% see people doing that, and not just kids.
I mean, it's just it boggles my mind. This, like, I understand the people that created this are trying to come up with something cool and innovative, and a different way to drink. Which let's face it, there's already 100 different ways to drink.
And it's just like liquor, right? It's not beer.
No, it's like vodka and I don't know exactly what it is because I didn't really bother. I don't really care. If I want to drink, I'm going to mix a drink.
Oh, here you go. I found it here. It's you can stir in simple water for a shot of rum or vodka, add cola or orange juice for a mixer, or create a cocktail, either a cosmopolitan, mojito, margarita, or lemon drop. Which I don't drink any of those anyway.
I mean, there's a couple different things I would drink that are in there, but I wouldn't do it in this way. I mean, because like I said, think about the fact of how hard it is to actually freeze alcohol. You can't. Yeah. You need like a super cooler to freeze alcohol. There's a reason why people store alcohol in the freezer. It's because it does not freeze.
Right.
So consider that when it comes to now, they're going to powder this stuff. I don't buy into it. I still don't think it's real.
Are they going to do the flip side of that and do liquid cocaine?
That's already been done.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's called heroin.
Oh. Never mind then. Someone beat me to it.
Yeah.
I thought I had the next great thing.
So, I mean, if you really want to do these powdered drinks and everything, start simple. Start with soda. Like, I can kind of see that. Like, carry like a Coke in a vial. And then you just add water to it. Pour it in a cup, add water to it, and you're good to go. But I
mean, they already have stuff like that.
Yeah, they have the
I guess not soda because it's carbonated, but like the iced tea pouches.
That's right.
Crystal Light pouches. Yeah. Have that, and they're pretty good. They're kind of strong though.
Well, it depends on the size of the cup that you use and everything too.
Yeah.
So.
No, but even like I use whatever it says, like 2 cups or whatever, and it's still pretty strong. I gotta dilute it a little more, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this.
I don't buy it. I don't even think it's real, to be honest.
I feel like it can't even be safe.
Me neither.
But yeah, I would agree. But for the actual, federal agency to have a statement saying they accidentally approved it, I gotta think it's somewhat legit, right? Otherwise, they would just deny it, wouldn't they?
Yeah, but how legit is the story even too that the FDA even approved it? I mean, think about the world that we live in with the internet and how many hoaxes are out there.
Well, this isn't even the FDA. This is just the Alcohol and Tobacco Tax and Trade Bureau.
True, but I mean, it's again, like I don't buy into it. I think this is all just one big hoax, and somebody was able to get somebody to believe it.
Yeah, and here's the better question: how do you accidentally approve it?
Because it's not real.
Who got fired over there? Is the agency not even real?
Because it's not real.
Is there a written statement anywhere from the FDA or this agency?
No, just the agency just said that it was issued in error. It was like some guy from the agency said that.
Yeah. I don't know. I would doubt that it's even real.
That's what I mean. I mean, whatever this company is that approved these labels and everything doesn't sound legit to me, because anything that's food, and I work in customs, so I kind of know a little bit about this. Anything that's food related or anything that touches your mouth or is ingested or anything that goes through the FDA, whether it's alcohol, and then alcohol goes through oh God, what's the name of the company? Oh God,
AOL.
No, not AOL. Alcohol, tobacco, and firearms.
Oh, the ATF, yeah.
The ATF. So, I mean, it's mostly FDA that deals with anything that's ingested. So, whether these labels are approved or not means nothing if the FDA doesn't approve it.
Right.
So, I still don't buy this story. I think this story is just one big hoax. I think this whole coming out and saying that they accidentally approved it is their way of saying, okay, this hoax is getting out of hand. We got to find a way to tame it.
Yeah, apparently Palcohol is also not the first attempt at powdered alcohol. According to patent data, General Foods Corporation, which is now a subsidiary of Kraft, patented a couple ways to make alcohol-containing powder. So it's powder that contained alcohol, not completely made of alcohol, in the early 70s. In that process, they took a carbohydrate, broke it down through a process called hydrolysis, rendering it into white powder. According to John Copeland, he's a professor at the Food Science of Penn, they then combined that powder with pure liquid alcohol, which stuck to the powder, essentially capturing the alcohol in white dust. It would feel dry to your hands, apparently. So I mean, that's not going to make a shot worth. You know what I mean? It's going to keep some of it, but it's going to be really weak.
And like you said, they had to add alcohol to powdered alcohol.
To this powder.
In order for it to work. And that was back in the 70s. So, if this was attempted back then and we haven't heard anything about it since, I don't think this is real. I'm sticking to that. I think this whole Palcohol thing is a hoax.
I think we need to stop worrying about powdered alcohol and start worrying about flying cars.
I know it's almost 2015, and I haven't seen one flying car yet.
Yeah, other than when I watched Captain America, the hovering car.
Back to the Future 2 is lying to me.
Yeah, I agree.
I haven't seen a hoverboard. I haven't seen flying cars. Although we are going to have sneakers with powered laces next year.
Yes, we are.
That's kind of cool.
What? But yeah, I mean,
you didn't hear about that.
No, I didn't hear about that.
Nike is developing shoes from Back to the Future that are going to have power laces.
Lauren is obviously an avid listener of our show.
I knew about the Palcohol thing.
Well, that's because that's been all over the news. Yeah, if we talked about it, you didn't know what the hell we were talking about.
But yeah, so I mean, I guess we'll see where it goes, but I agree. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I think it'll just fizzle out.
I just don't think it's real.
Well, I think regardless if it's real or not, going back to what you said about the powdered iced tea or the Crystal Light, to me, none of those things have ever tasted good. I would much rather brew a regular pot of iced tea or lemonade, because in small batches like that, I just think that it's overkill. So regardless if it's real or not, I mean, do you think these things will actually taste good, that it will taste like a regular, margarita or a cosmopolitan? I think it will be disgusting, no matter what it is.
Well, let me put it to you like this. If you're out drinking at a party and you're about
I know, you don't really care.
And you're about like 5 or 6 shots in, do you really care what it tastes like at that point?
I do. Not everybody, but I do.
Well, I could definitely see problems with it, though. I mean, just imagine, I could easily see someone taking like a ton of these pouches and making one gigantic drink.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like adding 1 cup of water, but mixing in like 4 scoops of this stuff, or snorting it, like you guys said.
You're going to see people go over, if it is real, you're going to see people go overboard with it the same way they did the Four Loko.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean...
Well, remember how they had, what was the stuff, and I guess we can talk about it a little more when we talk about the stupid kids thing. But what's that thing where they do the cinnamon test, the cinnamon challenge, or whatever it is? Could you see an alcohol challenge?
That's okay. The alcohol challenge, I can kind of see.
Yeah, like I could see them trying to like just take a scoop of Palcohol, put it in your mouth, and try and swallow it.
Because nobody died from the cinnamon challenge.
No.
And
but
it was just
I'm just comparing it.
And it was fun to watch on YouTube.
But I don't know. We'll see where it goes. But I guess we should take it quick.
I think it's just going to be something that if it is real, you're going to see people take it to dangerous levels, and it's going to get to the point where, just like Four Loko, it's going to be highly regulated.
Fucking Catalina wine mixer.
Powdered wine, I would like.
There's boxed wine.
That would be gross.
Powdered wine?
Yeah.
I don't like wine in general, so.
I do.
That.
Well, wait till you're over 30, Adam.
I like wine, and I'm under 30.
Oh, you're also a chick, though.
That's a good point.
Guys don't get in the wine until they get older.
All right.
Because if they do, they get criticized. If you go to a bar while your buddies are drinking beer and you order a glass of, like, Pinot. What are you doing? So, all right, yeah, let's take a break. So, we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about other stupid things that kids are doing and also cover our Weird of the Week. We'll talk about another interview that we have coming up this week. That's pretty much all but confirmed. And we will tease a big summer contest that we have going on. So we will take the break, and we will be right back. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to figure out a way to get inside.
It looks impossible.
Lucky those walls are 25 feet high. There's a guard at every post. There's no way we'll ever get in there.
I think Dusty's right.
Well, we're just gonna have to use our brains. Damn it.
We are back from our final break of the show, going on 7:40, so we got about 20 minutes left.
Or if you're listening on the podcast, it's 6:30.
If you want to know what time it is, if you're listening to the podcast, just look down at your cell phone or your watch.
Lower right-hand corner should get you there.
Or your iPod or whatever it is you're listening to us on.
Yeah.
Hopefully iTunes coming up in a couple...
Yeah, now that our RSS feed is fixed.
Now that our RSS feed is fixed and has been submitted to Apple. So hopefully sometime this week we'll be hearing about that. And once that's up, then I will be putting up all of our shows on there. And you'll be able to subscribe to us on iTunes, which is really cool.
And Stitcher, too, I think.
Yeah, we're going to work on getting us fixed on Stitcher, too. But I know iTunes is a bigger... little bit bigger than Stitcher. But we're going to be on both. What's that?
Stitcher's just easier.
Oh yeah, now that the RSS feed is fixed.
Yeah.
So,
you want me to talk about this thing that we've like unintentionally been teasing for?
Yeah, because you had something that you saw about another stupid thing, talking about Palcohol, but another stupid thing that kids are doing.
Yeah, and we had mentioned the cinnamon challenge. This is called Beezin. So it involves Burt's Bees lip balm. You would think, and just when you think kids like, who thinks of this? Like, so this is what they do. Okay, you apply a light layer of Burt's Bees natural lip balm wax on your eyelids, like just the top of it. Not even, you don't have to like go underneath, and that's it. Apparently, they say that it adds to the experience of being drunk or high, and some people say it helps them keep alert. Who was the first person to think of this?
And how does this even work?
Right.
I don't know.
Wouldn't your eyes water?
According to Dr. Brett Cawthon, the peppermint oil in the lip balm is a very strong irritant and can cause inflammation in the eye, inflammation in the eye, redness of the swelling. That doesn't make any sense, but
redness of the swelling?
Yeah, it says inflammation in the eye, redness of the eye, swelling. So I guess the eye swells up, I'm assuming, like the eyelid gets all swollen, and I guess
it would be as if you were allergic to pollen.
Yeah.
And your eyes would swell up and you couldn't see. So, how does this enhance drinking? Or being drunk or high?
I don't know. I don't know. But apparently the eye is one of the most sensitive parts of the body, and Beezin could cause pink eye-like symptoms, which is just fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know. People, I weep for the day that I have kids. I really do.
And how, like, I wonder how prevalent this is. Like, is it just a few kids in one area? Is it really, like... And I think social media has a lot to do with it, because word gets around quickly with social media.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, some kid probably did this 15 years ago when I was in grade school. I had to think for a second what school I was in. But I never heard about it because I didn't have a Facebook.
Yeah. I don't know. Again, it's like you said, like, who thinks of this stuff? Like, who was the first person to think of, I'm going to put chapstick on my eyelids?
Yeah, and I never even tried the cinnamon challenge. Why the hell would I do this?
The cinnamon challenge was kind of fun.
Well, what exactly is the cinnamon? Is it a teaspoon?
It's a tablespoon, I think.
A tablespoon,
yeah.
Okay.
It's a tablespoon because it's so dry. It kind of it parches your mouth. Like any saliva you have in your mouth, it kind of gets rid of it. So the cinnamon challenge is to take a tablespoon of cinnamon, put it in your mouth, and swallow it all completely without spitting it out.
In under 60 seconds, yeah, I'm looking at it now, without drinking anything.
Without,
and then you have to upload the video to the internet.
Yeah, you can't drink anything at all, and it's very difficult because of the fact that you can't produce saliva while you're doing it.
Yeah.
So it
results in like gagging and vomiting. And...
Yeah. But again,
why?
like nobody's ever died from doing the cinnamon challenge.
Yeah. Maybe.
I can't see how you could die from putting lip balm on your eye either.
I could see you having like major eye problems down the road, though.
Yeah,
I can see it doing serious damage.
Yeah. I mean, the cinnamon challenge could cause serious damage if some of that gets in like your lungs.
Well, you're also not supposed to do the cinnamon challenge alone.
Oh.
Yeah, but
a responsible adult has to be with you.
No, just somebody to supervise.
Do it! Come on.
The goal of the cinnamon challenge, though, is just to look like a jackass.
Pretty much.
You don't really. There's no like euphoria produced by.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
So. I mean that's just something. You're just acting like an idiot. I mean, this putting chapstick or lip balm on your eyelids is supposed to produce this high sensation or this drunk feeling, and I don't. It's just going to be one of those things that you're really going to need, and you're going to go to the drugstore, and you're not going to be able to pull it off of the shelf anymore.
Yeah.
You're going to have to get it from the stupid pharmacist, because think about it. You can't get some, allergy medications off the shelf anymore because people were abusing those types of things.
Yeah, pseudoephedrine.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
On the counter now.
You get carded at the counter now.
Yeah.
To buy allergy medicine.
Well, yeah, and
And cough medicine.
methamphetamines. You actually have to slide your driver's license now because you're only allowed to buy so much, so that you're not making
meth.
Meth, yeah. I was like, what were they making in Breaking Bad?
You said methamphetamine. You said it right at the beginning of the conversation.
Sorry, I don't know your street terms, Ben. Okay, I just know the actual scientific terms. But no, so I mean, if you want to make meth, you have to find like 5 or 6 friends to help you.
No, I mean, you're Lauren, you're absolutely right. It's going to get to the point where the simplest things that are so like everyday used are going to become so restricted that it's not going to be easy to get them anymore.
No,
Pretty soon milk will be behind the counter.
Right.
I'd like to buy a dozen eggs. Please slide your ID.
In college, a couple buddies of mine, when we were freshmen, did the gallon milk challenge.
Oh, that's
the whole milk thing. We have to try and drink an entire gallon of whole milk within 1 hour without throwing up.
Yeah.
Needless to say, one of them didn't make it the full hour and he threw up. The other one actually finished the gallon of milk but threw up almost immediately after.
Well, I mean,
I again did not try that, so I will also not be applying Burt's Bees to my eyes.
I don't know. I would feel like I just look stupid putting Burt's Bees on my eyes.
Yeah.
Do you need a mirror for it? You look like you're putting on like eyeshadow.
Yeah.
That's Burt's Bees eyeshadow. That's a new marketing thing.
I mean, it would be like, I mean, why not put like Vicks Vapor Rub on your eyes?
I was just gonna say that. Yeah. It's the
Why don't
same
you try it?
effect.
Let us know what
Yeah.
happens.
Although
I
I-
wouldn't be surprised if somebody has tried that.
Although I did hear the craziest thing about Vicks Vapor Rub. It's kind of off the topic, but somebody said if you're coughing a lot, like if you're sick, you put it on the bottom of your feet and
Oh,
put
really?
Yeah,
and put
I think I've
socks
heard
on.
that. Yeah, I heard that before.
Yeah, it's supposed to like absorb through your feet.
Huh. I've heard like chest under the nose, but your feet, that seems like the furthest, that is the furthest away point from your mouth you can get.
Well, you're not supposed to like walk on it. You're supposed to do it when you go to bed.
Yeah. Oh,
You put it on your feet and you put socks on, and then you get in bed.
Well, they had those things. Do you remember those, like, I forget what the hell they were called. It was some, like, Asian name. But those little pads that you stick to your feet, you put them on
Yeah,
and go
it's
to bed at night. They're supposed to take
draw
out all the toxins.
toxins.
Yeah.
So I guess it's the same thing, but I don't know how much those worked. I think it just cleaned your feet, and if you had really dirty feet.
So, but I mean, it brings up the topic too. Like, what other stupid stuff have we done growing up? I mean, because this is just this generation's stupid thing to do.
Yeah.
You know,
in
as well
10
as-
years, there'll be, I don't even know.
It'll be something else. You know.
Yeah,
It'll
there's
be
always something. Think of the most innocent thing you can think of and ruin it.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
but
right.
but I mean, then again, there were stupid things I did in high school that I knew were stupid when I was doing them. But I was in high school and I just didn't care. I mean, we went, and this is going to sound highly stupid because of how dangerous it was, but we went iceberg sailing. I lived on a town that was right on the Delaware River, and in the winter, sometimes it got so cold that the river would freeze over a little bit. And we would go out and we would walk on the ice, and we would take a stick and we would break off a piece of the ice that we were on, take a long branch, and we would Tom Sawyer it down the river on that piece of ice.
Oh my
Well, let me
God.
tell you a little story about an iceberg I had encountered one time. I was
Were you on the Titanic?
sailing from England
Yeah, I knew it.
or somewhere,
I knew that's where this was going.
So did I.
and we didn't make it, okay? So before you go think about iceberg sailing again, think of that.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, it got to the point like where a buddy of mine was out there, and the stick got to the point where he couldn't reach the bottom of the river anymore.
That's
And
pretty deep.
at that point, he's like, "Okay, this needs to stop. I need to get off this thing."
Well, see, at least you get, at some point, your friend didn't
Yeah.
fall in and die.
Right.
That's always good.
Well, he jumped off. It was the only way he was getting back because the stick wasn't reaching the bottom of the river anymore.
Oh, to paddle him back in.
Yeah, so he literally pretty much had to jump off the piece of ice and into that cold water and swim back.
Oh, and swim back.
Yeah,
Oh. Well, at least he's a good swimmer.
yeah. He's still alive.
You couldn't paddle your iceberg out and rescue him?
No.
Oh, okay.
You think I was stupid?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, you guys were sailing on icebergs.
I know. We were already sailing on pieces of ice, so it was kind of dumb as it is.
But yeah, I can't think of anything like ridiculous. Like, obviously, when you're a kid, you do some stupid stuff. I mean, I don't think I was a pretty good kid though.
My dad was a cop, so
So was mine.
really, Oh.
Yeah, still is.
But it doesn't always work out that way though. Like sometimes, like the
Yeah,
kids
some of the kids are worse.
they're worse because their parents are police officers.
Like my sister. No, I'm just kidding.
So I mean, and I had my share of times that I got into trouble and anything, but it was never anything so bad.
I never got arrested.
I'm pleading the fifth.
I've never gotten arrested.
I
I've
have.
gotten a ticket, but I've never gotten arrested.
I've not knock on wood, never gotten a ticket. Either.
I've been arrested.
Yeah,
That's a story.
I know that story.
That's a story for another day.
Another podcast.
Lauren, I'll tell you off the air.
Okay.
Another podcast complete.
Yeah, that's a story for another time.
But yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of some of the other stuff that were, I mean, like stuff like even like the cinnamon challenge and the saltine cracker one. Was you had to eat like a packet of saltines or something like that?
Yeah,
My friends and I used to have this game that we would play. I think we were in 8th grade, and none of us had really been exposed to drinking alcohol yet, like nothing along those lines. But they would come over my house, and we would be bored and have nothing else to do. So we decided to create this game, and we would call it the shot game, but it didn't involve alcohol. What it was kind of similar to the gallon of milk challenge that you were talking about. So
You mean a power hour?
sort of. So we would sit in a circle in my parents' kitchen, and we would make each other these shots of like all of these different things that we could just find in the kitchen. So, and then whoever, you know, would throw up first obviously would lose, but we would make each other shots of like red wine vinegar and clam juice.
Oh my God.
And milk and like soy sauce and like the most disgusting combinations that you would ever think of. And then, you know, the first to Ralph would be the loser. And then I don't really know how you would win the game, but I just remember that was kind of stupid and nobody would get hurt. But, you know, it's just one of those things that I would never do it now. But at the time, it seemed like a fun idea.
You guys were pre-Fear Factor.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, like, and like, a totally different level, but the knockout game that those kids kept doing with just walking up and punching a stranger trying to knock them out, like who thinks of this, and then who, like, what other kid sees that and goes, I'm gonna try that. I think it's a good idea.
That's just stupid, because that's gonna get somebody killed.
It has, I think, hasn't it?
I know it's gotten some kids.
It's
gotten some kids their ass kicked.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think it got a kid shot. Because they tried to do it to the one guy and he shot the kid.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody has died from it. It's just...
Well, going off of that, what about the whole thing where kids, you know, make themselves pass out, the pass-out game, where that's supposed to...
Oh, yeah.
Some sort of, like, euphoric, you know, orgasmic type of feeling. And people have died
Yeah,
from
people
that.
have... Not just kids, though. There's been adults that have died from that.
Yeah.
What's his name? The one actor from that one television show, which I know really narrows it down. God, I can't remember. David Carradine. I think that's who it was. I could be wrong.
What's the show?
Kung
What's
Fu.
the show?
I think it was the show Kung Fu.
Okay.
He died from the asphyxiation.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's not...
Yeah, but that was a sex accident, wasn't it?
Yeah, but that's what some of these kids are doing. You're using it as too.
Yeah, it's like a...
Yeah, it was David Carradine.
David
he
Carradine.
He was found with a cord wrapped around his neck and genitals.
Yeah, because that's what he was doing. I mean,
asphyxiated, so he was naked.
So there's other stupid things that kids do too that become a trend, and they're not dangerous. Although the one I'm thinking of off the top of my head, I think there have been a couple deaths from because people have just done it stupidly, and I still don't see the point in it. But planking.
Oh yeah.
I think it's so stupid.
How can you die from that?
Because people have done it on like balconies and things like that and fallen.
Yeah, I've seen that. I mean, as long as you're not doing it, you know, in a 6-story building, I don't mind it.
That's the thing. I mean, that's what they were doing.
Yeah, I mean, the closest thing I probably ever did to any of these things, and I still will do once in a while, is inhale the helium from a balloon.
I do that too. But
I know, that's what I mean. That's about it. I'm not. I don't live dangerously. I'm sorry.
Oh, if you ever get the chance, you should do. And I did this back when I worked for that. We're not naming the station, but when I worked for this station, we did. You did
ABC.
helium. You did helium to make your voice higher. But if you do sodium hexafluoride, it makes your voice deeper.
What the hell is that?
It's another gas.
Oh.
But it's a heavier gas. It's not a lighter gas like helium.
Oh, really?
So when you do it, it makes you sound like Vader.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, it's just as harmful to you as helium. You know, if you do it in high doses, it's going to cause you harm. But, you know, smaller doses just for fun, it's really not going to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, like, kids will find, you know, they're just going to find stuff to do. I mean, like, weren't there people who would just, like, pick up, like, I mean, not anything, but just smoke anything? Like, just try and smoke it. You see it, try to smoke it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, literally smoke grass.
I wouldn't be surprised if people have done that. I know there are people who've smoked pencil shavings.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, why? Who thinks that's a good idea?
I don't know. People are stupid.
I agree.
It's a stupid
All right, but I
generation.
guess we should get to the weird of the week and then wrap it up.
Yeah, we're about like 3 minutes to 8, so we should probably get around that time to start wrapping things up.
And now the Next Level Showcast presents the Weird of the Week.
And this week's Weird of the Week is brought to you by Burt's Bees. Put it all over your eyelids. First, this is actually a follow-up story. Remember, Ben, a couple of months ago, Lauren probably doesn't know because she doesn't listen to the show. We talked about a website where the dad had turned over naming their child to the internet.
Yes. I remember that.
Yes, well, the winning name was Cthulhu Allspark.
Oh my god.
That's not what the child was named, however. The kid was born a couple weeks ago. The name they went with was, I believe, second place. They went with Amelia...
Earhart.
Yes. No. Amelia Savannah Joy McLaughlin.
What?
That's a long name, but
Yeah.
I assume Savannah Joy is the middle name. She was born April 7th. But I remember the dad saying, like, obviously, to a point, we can veto...
Oh, yeah. They said it wasn't guaranteed. Whatever the number one was not guaranteed to become the name.
Yeah. Amelia was the second favorite first name, so Cthulhu was the first one. Or Allspark.
Cthulhu.
Or no, Cthulhu was the first one, yeah. And then... I don't know what place the second one was, the middle name. Because I'm looking at the... And if you go to the website, it's completely taken down. You can't see the results, which is kind of lame. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would ever... I guess no harm, no foul.
Well, now that I know that Allspark wasn't taken, that's what I'm naming my kid.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That was the middle name. You could make it the first name.
Wait, it was the middle name?
It was the original middle
But he didn't use it.
They vetoed it. Yeah.
That's what I mean. Now that I know he didn't use it, that's what I'm naming my kid.
Right.
Allspark.
Second one is an Oak Creek man kills blind wife over nagging. And I actually heard about this story originally on Twitter like a week or so ago from Paternity Court's Twitter handle, which we interviewed Lauren Lake about.
Lauren Lake, yeah.
A 76-year-old Milwaukee County man has told investigators he shot his blind wife of 56 years because she'd been nagging him for 3 weeks. Well, I guess, they say when you lose one of your senses, your other ones are better. So I guess her sense of talking was better. I don't know.
Oh, she was the blind one.
She was the blind one.
Oh, my God.
He shot her in the face.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so that's one way to do it.
Man, after all that arguing, I bet she didn't see that coming.
Oh.
That was horrible. That was just...
Sorry, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. I couldn't see. Anyway, let's wrap it up. Man threw eggs at girlfriend during Easter party, according to the cops. This is in Pittsburgh. Police say a man threw hard-boiled eggs at his girlfriend during an Easter egg decorating party and then tried to attack police. 27-year-old Aaron Gomble was arrested on simple and aggravated assault charges. Police say they responded to a fight call to a woman with a red and swollen right eye. So he hit her right in the eye.
In the face!
Authorities say that after police made their way past a makeshift barricade into a bedroom, Gomble reached for a row of knives and swords.
Swords?
Swords. The W is not silent. Swords before he was subdued. They say he yelled racist obscenities at one of the officers and kicked another in the groin. So this guy had a great Easter.
Well, after you throw eggs at your girlfriend, you have to attack the police.
Yeah, there's no way out.
They just go hand in hand.
Yeah, it's like Rambo style. You might as well just try and take everybody down at that point. But that's it for the Weird of the Week.
Okie dokie. Well, all right. That's.
We never announced our other interviews, did we?
No, I was just going to get into that.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
You cut me off.
Good.
Sorry. No, a couple things before we get out of here. First off, thanks to Lauren for joining us tonight.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Anytime you want to come back, you are more than welcome.
All right.
How was the first show that you ever listened to?
It was great. It was great. I learned a lot about you guys. I learned that I don't like Ben.
What?
But,
that's it.
I like you, Adam.
I'm reaching out to that person we don't talk about. No, I would not do that.
So thanks for having me.
So, like I said, and I'm sure Adam agrees, anytime you want to come back, you are more than welcome to join us.
All right.
So,
as long as it's not a holiday.
Okay, well, yeah, I don't want to be here either. So.
But as Adam said, we have a couple interviews that we have coming up this week. Actually, one of them tomorrow.
We do a drum roll?
Yeah, go for it. I'll let you announce it.
Oh, okay, cool. Tomorrow, all but confirmed, around 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you're listening to the podcast, then just look out for it, because obviously this doesn't apply to you. We're going to be talking to Claire Coffey from NBC's Grimm. So that's pretty much all but confirmed. I'm just waiting for the confirmation.
Which is going to be pretty cool too, because she's a pretty important character to that show, and it's a good show if you've never seen it.
Yeah, it is a cool show. I mean, it kind of mixes like a police procedural with
Grimm's fairy tales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of neat. I've watched a couple episodes. I really want to start from the beginning though, and unfortunately, it's not on Netflix. That's one of the ones. I look on Netflix and it's like you can rent the disc.
Yeah, I have to get caught up. I've used to watch it and I've fallen behind. I got to get caught up.
Yeah, so that'll be tomorrow, Monday, April 28th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, if you're listening on the podcast, just go to our page and look for it.
And the other interview that we have coming up that I've booked on my end, we have it's been confirmed. We just have to schedule a date. And the reason why we haven't yet is because he's been very flexible as far as the date goes. And we had Easter, and we have Claire Coffey. Adam and I are going to review a movie on Wednesday night, which is pretty cool. We'll talk about that later on. But we're going to be interviewing the lead singer of the band No More Kings. His name is Pete Mitchell. If you've never heard of No More Kings, if you've never heard any of their music, do yourself a favor, go to YouTube, just type in No More Kings and check out some of their music. They're one of my favorite bands. They're based out in LA, so it's really cool that Pete's going to be talking to us. Their music is full of pop culture references. They have one song that I forwarded to you, Adam. The whole song is The Karate Kid told from Johnny's point of view. Songs about Schroeder from Peanuts, Knight Rider. Like, their songs are just full of pop culture references. They're great songs, great bands. He's a great singer, so I'm looking forward to getting him. And they have their third album just came out, so they're going to be he's going to be promoting his third album with us.
Sweet.
So we'll schedule that, and once we get that scheduled, we'll let everybody know.
Cool. So, contest?
Yeah, last but not least, Adam and I talked about the details. We had teased before Easter we were going to have a big summer contest, and we're going to do it. We have a big summer contest. We're going to have all the details for you next week on next week's show.
Good job.
Who was it? Oh, that was Lauren.
Yeah.
That said that should have been a prize. Because Lauren was in on the conversation when we were talking about that.
Guys need boob jobs too.
No, they don't.
It should be a boob job / reduction.
Yeah. What was that in Superbad where he's saying she got a reduction and she had back problems, man.
Well, women actually do that.
Yeah,
they do.
Because they have back problems.
No, but haven't you ever heard the commercials on the radio? And I'm not going to mention, the doctor's
Yeah, because he's not he's not a sponsor.
Right, but they're like, I have man boobs. Like, they're the lamest commercials in the world. But I've never looked in the mirror and said, I have man boobs. I need to go to some doctor.
Yeah, me neither. It's not a boob job.
Even if I develop man boobs, I don't care.
The prize is not a boob job, so we don't have to worry about it.
That's true.
But it is pretty cool. I know we did a 6-month subscription to Netflix before. We've done movie passes in the past. This definitely is a lot bigger than that. So there's going to be things that you're going to have to do in order to win this. You're going to have to get certain things done, and if things don't get done, nobody's going to win. But we'll have all the details about it next week on next week's show, so you're going to want to tune in next week. Other than that, I think that's it, Adam, unless you have anything else.
No. Listen next week.
Lauren, anything?
No, thanks for having me. It was fun.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
All right, then be sure to check us out, www.nextlevelradioonline.com. Follow us on Twitter at NXTLevelRadio. Go on and like us on Facebook, facebook.com/nextlevelradioonline. Follow us or subscribe to us on YouTube. You can find the link to that on our webpage, as well as Mixler. Follow us on there, and that about wraps it up. Until next week, guys, we're going to cut it out now. Have a great rest of the evening. Enjoy your week, and we'll be back with you next Sunday. Take care.
Later.